peace, only war.
What is up, gents? 40k Dirtbags here. We got a battle report for you today. We're doing Night Lords versus our boy Keevil, testing out Veterans of the Long War. We have a lot of stuff coming up on the channel. If you guys are new to the channel, we do a lot of battle reports, 40k tactical videos, and just getting everybody better at the game in general. I appreciate all my Patreons, you guys supporting me and getting me to this point of the YouTube career. We are going out to Lone Star Open next week, so probably by the time you see this video, we already posted on Discord on how we're doing in Lone Star. Me and Mike are flying out. It's a Saturday and Sunday tournament, so we're like, hey, no PTO. Let's just fly out there and have a red-eye fly back on Monday. And then we have Nova coming up at the end of August. And then we have LSO, which is not LSO, LVO, which is Las Vegas Open. If you guys are at any of those events, you see me or Mike, definitely come up to us and say you're a dirtbag, and then you'll be able to get some limited dirtbag dice. So guys, appreciate it. With this video, if you guys are new, we do picture-by-picture battle reports, so you guys don't have to sit here for 3 hours watching somebody else play a game that you probably should be playing yourself. And we go over tactical videos on what to do better, what we learned, what we could have done differently in the game, and what we would change about our lists. A lot of these lists are very competitive. The tournament setting with the terrain setup is very competitive. The terrain you see in these videos that we do most of the time are Rexar lasers. They're in the description below. If you guys use the code Dirtbags, you get free shipping. So all of his terrain is plexiglass clear, so it's very easy to see the really cool terrain piece underneath, and then you can put any terrain piece on top. They sell their own wood board terrain pieces, which are really easy to put together. And they actually have a brand new terrain setup, which we didn't use in this video. This is an older one, but with all the new videos, we have exact layouts of the Games Workshop terrain pieces. That's provided from him. So he's a really good sponsor. He's awesome. I'm going to see him at LSO, and if you guys want to support him, support me, you can click on that link below and use the code Dirtbag. So in this video, I was testing out something different. I really wanted to make Dread Talons work. We did just win a Dread Talon RTT, last RTT we went to at Alternate Universes, and the list that I brought was kind of unorthodox Dread Talons, but it worked. So we checked it off the list of winning an RTT with an underrated detachment, but there's very few list building you can have in Dread Talons to make it really work. You're basically playing a detachment that doesn't have stratagems or a detachment rule. That's basically what you're trying to do. So with this one, we're like, hey, let's try and add Abaddon and see if Abaddon can boost up anything with this Dread Talons list and see if it could work out. So this was the first game Mike came back from his kind of like deployment training for the military, so he was rusty coming into it, but he was just so freaking pumped to test out this thing that he's been thinking about for the past 3 months. So I got to play him with the Dread Talons attachment, and his list was actually pretty cool. He's now running Veterans of the Long War in competitive play for LSO as well, so I'm super pumped for him. He's super pumped, and we'll go over the lists, and then we're going to go over picture by picture what we did for each turn, and then the points at the end and what we would change. So if you guys are interested, the merch tab is, I just got this new picture, by the way. So the Chaos picture is legit. Let me put the merch tab on top of it. So the merch tab, we have the widgets, which are up for sale. We have the models. We just got Cypher in. So Cypher is now up for sale on Discord. And then we have the Grey Knight Tech Priest as well. So if you guys need some Tech Priests, they're really hard to get. Those are up for sale. All the stickers are up for sale. And then the dice are 10% off because we're trying to clear inventory to buy more dice. So all the dice that we have now, it's in bulk. So we have to clear the inventory. They're 10% off. If you guys want to order some dice, they are legit Dirtbag dice. Yeah, so that's the merch tab. Hit me up on Discord if you're interested in that. So let's get into the game, and then we'll go picture by picture. All right, today we got the Night Lords, leading it off with Conrad Curse, who's going to be our Abaddon. Cypher, who's insane now. We're actually selling our custom Cypher models. So anybody interested, hop on Discord. 2 Predator tanks with 2 last cannon autocannon. We have a Rhino with a Legionnaire squad and a last cannon with some Noise Marines. We have a 10-man Raptor squad with 4 plasmas, leading it off with the Lord with the jump pack enhancement. Then we have 2 Raptors, both with Meltas in it. 1 Blue Scribes, which has -1 leadership within 6 inches, infiltrate. A unit of 10 cultists, a unit of 10 or 5 chosen, and then a big unit of a cursed cultist, and 3 bikes with plasma and a fist. It's 2,000 points. All right, Mike, what do we got today?
So I'm playing Veterans of the Long War. I have a Terminator Lord with the enhancement for +1 to hit and +1 to charge, fallback, shoot, and charge. He's leading 10-man Terminators. Then I've got another Chaos Lord leading 10-man Legionnaires. He has the crits on 5s. I've got 2x5 Legionnaires, both with las cannons, Cypher, Nurglings, Bikes, Plasma, Power Fist. I've got another regular Lord. I've got the small Accursed Cultist Squad and a Rhino, and then 2 Preds, 1 Vindicator, and then 10 Cultists at 1995.
All right, so this is the terrain setup that I was talking about. This is the Rexar lasers, clear plexiglass bases. You can basically bring them in any store you guys want. It's really good for practice, RTTs and GTs practice. So the base, I think, alone is like $40, and the terrain on top, you can buy either this type of terrain setup, which is the old terrain setup, or the new terrain setup, and then just get them both included, and you get free shipping. So we played this layout, which is a new layout that me and Mike have never played before. And we played Terraform. Terraform is one of the most brutal new missions that they have. Basically, if you hold the home field objective, you get 3 points, and then every objective you also get 3 points, but if you hold the home field, you get 5 points for every other objective. And there's no cap. So one turn you can basically just get 23 points if you're tabling your opponent, which is kind of nuts. So this is a really easy one to jump out ahead of, but it's also really crappy if you go really far behind. I would really start planning out secret missions for missions like this, so that way if you go far behind on by turn 3, you can at least still get 20 points for your primary at the end to max of 40. So I would definitely start planning out lists. I still haven't done that. I still have to take my time and do some videos on secret missions and everything like that. So you should make your list kind of determining on what type of specific secret mission you want to go for towards the end of the game. So this is this terrain setup, the list we just went over, and let's get into the turns. So I obviously picked this side. We have the 2 Predators lined up behind here. Now me and Mike are very precise every time we play. Like, we always try and practice for a tournament setting, so we're always like getting our measurements all precise, line of sight, laser, all that stuff. So every type of game that you see me and Mike play are always very, very close, and we try and learn the most we possibly can. Probably 90% of the time we find new rules that we have to look up. Don't usually come up in most games, so anytime you see us live, then you'll learn a ton from watching us play together. So he has a bunch of tanks in the back. He has the Vindicator coming in the back as well. So that's coming in from reserves. He's got the bikes lined up, same as mine over here. He's got his Nurglings over here. I got my infiltrators up here. And he's got his 10 guys out of a Rhino, which was probably one of the mistakes that he noticed after turn 2. Deep striking the Terminators, and the Cultists are actually in the Rhino because they gain Scout 6. So you put them in a Rhino, you can then Scout 6 up, which is a really good tactic to kind of deliver them pretty far forward on turn 1. So let's say you move your Rhino up 6. Let's say you have first. Move your Rhino up 6. If you don't have first, you move your Rhino defensively. But if you do have first, you move your Rhino up 6. They can then get out 9, go charge something, or get out 9 and go do an action, and then the guys behind them can then get into the Rhino, and then the Rhino can go move somewhere else. So that's a really good tactic. He just didn't move the guys inside the Rhino after turn 1. So I got to go first for this one. On our first mission, you can see to your right here is these are the missions we picked. So for first one, I got containment, and then the next one was behind enemy line. So containment is really easy on turn 1. You basically have to be wholly within 9 inches of a board edge now, not the corner, which is so much easier. And then you could do it on 2 corners and get a 6 for the secondary. So that was really easy for turn 1. I couldn't get behind enemy lines, but I did keep it because I knew I was coming down with my Raptors and coming within 3 inches and stuff like that. I wanted to get 2 units try to get into his backfield, so I kept behind enemy lines. Now the difference between Abaddon is you have to be able to see something to shoot them to get a CP now. Well, Abaddon moved up, basically castled up over here. I was within 24 inches of the Nurglings over here, and I hate facing Nurglings because they are literally one of the best units in the game. So I shot the Nurglings and I failed my Dark Pact twice. So I failed to roll 7 up, and then I rolled it again and I failed to roll a 7 up again. So Abaddon did not get me a CP. And then everybody else, Cypher's back here. Cypher's going to come and clutch this game. 2 Raptors got up and line of sight onto, I believe, the Rhino? No, this Rhino got line of sight to that Rhino. So this Rhino, who has the Noise Marines and the last cannon, scooted up and got line of sight to this Rhino, which we took it down to 5 wounds. And then the other two Predators, this one scooted up and shot everything into this Rhino and blew that Rhino up as well. So like I said, we're very precise with the lasers and measurements and stuff like that. So I was able to get my Rhino up to there, kind of around the corner, or my Predator, and got line of sight onto his Rhino to blow it up on turn 1. So we blew up that Rhino. Bikes moved up over here and got on that objective, and then we just basically castled up over here. Cultists are in that back corner over there to the left. So that was my turn 1. Pretty simple. His turn 1, like I said, he moves up his Rhino. The guys get out of the Rhino to take this, and I believe he did cleanse and secure no man's land. So he secured with his bikes in the top left corner over here. Let me make this wider for you guys. All right, cool. So his bikes were up in this top left corner. They did cleanse over there, cleanse over here, and then he controlled both those objectives. These guys, like I said, did not advance into the Rhino before we moved the Rhino up. So I think if the guys get out and just kind of sit over here, they would still do their job by cleansing, and then they can kind of camp out in the Rhino right here. Cultists scooch up, kind of spread out. These guys all spread out over there. He does some pot shots, take this guy down to 3 wounds. This was his Veterans of Long War target, so he gets full rerolls to hit against them. And then he took the Rhino down 3 wounds over there. So Rhino got shot up a little bit. This one got shot up a little bit. And his turn 1, he gets cleanse for 4 and secure no man's for 5. So really good turn 1 by Mike. Our turn 2, we had terraform of a 3. I think we had banners too. This might have been banners. Not sure. So I got 4 for terraform, which doesn't make sense. So Mike did the points. I'm just copying what he has right here, and it says I have 4 for terraform. 4, 8. I have no idea how that scored. All right, so for terraform, we get that, and then which we controlled this objective because he had this objective with his dudes over there and that over there. So we only had 1 objective on our home field, so it should have been 3. And then for we got assassinate. No, yeah, behind me lines and assassinate was for turn 2. So the only assassinate targets he has is the Lord in this unit right there. There's a Lord over there, and I believe a Lord in the Terminator brick over there. So he's got a bunch of dudes, a bunch of Lords. I want to try and nuke this unit as much as possible this turn. So what we do is we bring in our 10-man Raptor unit right here, not realizing that Cypher was on the other side of the wall, I believe, like right there. So Cypher was hidden behind the wall. So instead of me coming down over here, he let me redo it and come down 12 inches away from Cypher, because when Lord comes down, he can come down within 3 inches for free. And then he can literally chuck a grenade. If he makes a unit battle shock, he can get 4 rerolls to hit and wound. Like, that's a scary unit. 10-man Warp Talons with some plasma. The other Warp Talons came down over here, 9 inches away. He then spent a CP for these guys to basically move away, because these guys scooted up, got out on the objective, and then the Raptors came down after they moved. So they moved up, these guys scooted back, then the Raptors came down outside 9. I put some Melta within range of the Predator over there, Plasma within range of the bikes. We still had our Legionnaires in the Rhino right here. Abaddon scooted up behind the wall. He has line of sight to the Rhino, so again, I need to kind of see something to do a Dark Pact now. And then these guys scooted out on the objective. He kind of ignored these guys for the whole game, which was funny, because if you one-shot them, they don't come back. But they have a 4-up invoke save, so most of the time it's really hard to one-shot these guys, and they are outperforming a lot of people in the Dread Talons list. Predators move up to get some line of sight onto these guys over there, and then he rapid ingress these Terminators, which obviously we did not like them coming in our backfield. So we didn't prepare for the rapid ingress, so these guys are literally sitting in my backfield. You can tell I was super excited about that. And then these guys, again, moved out over here instead to stay 12 inches away from Cypher, because Cypher is so good in Chaos Space Marines now, being able to make everything a Vect, which is just brutal. So these guys come down with a 3. We get line of sight to, I want to get his line of sight to as many people as I possibly can to force battle shocks -2 in his command phase. So Lord comes down. We put all the plasma into these guys, all the pistols into these guys. We put some pistols into the cultists over there to kill at least 1, so that way they have to do a battle shock test. And then we force a battle shock on this unit, and he fails. So after failing that battle shock, this unit's battle shocked. I get 4 rerolls to hit and wound with this unit with 4 plasma and 2 plasma pistols. It was a shit ton of plasma. Bike moved up. I moved up, Dark Pact, and then did Hazardous for the plasma, and 2 guys died from Hazardous. So that was fun. That was really, really cool. And then look, we took everything down to just the Lord. So we traded 10 Warp Talons with the Lord for 10 Legionnaires, and we took some damage on the Lord because we were really trying to go for the Assassinate this turn. Like I said, these guys came down over here. All the Predators lined up to try and shoot this Raptor, and I don't know if we had any line of sight to these guys, but they just got neutered over here. We did some wounds to this Predator, this unit. So all these guys are within 12 of my guys, so they have basically battle shock tests on everybody. So after this turn 1, look how many battle shock tests. Battle shock, battle shock, battle shock, battle shock, battle shock. One of these might have been battle shocked. This guy, the Nurgling, did not fail his battle shock the entire game. He's leadership 8, goes up to 9, I think, on max, and he made his battle shock every single turn. So these little lords were literally unshakable the entire game, which was freaking, every time we rolled it, we were just dying laughing. But this was cool. This little trick right here was like, all right, this has some game. If I can force a battle shock and take out a big unit. If I can't really take out a big infantry unit, they usually die. So they're 180 points plus 110 or 115 for the Lord. So they were at 290 points. The 2-man unit of Legionnaires is, again, 180 points plus the Lord, which is 90, and then if he has an enhancement, it's about the same. So if I can trade this unit for that unit and force a bunch of random shit in the corner, that's a good trade-off. That's really how you're basing your trades off of this game. We did have, I don't think we had the Dread thing in this list. Yeah, I don't think we had the Eater of Dread, where if he's battle shocked, I get a CP on a 2+ essentially. These 2 were battle shocked as well in the back corner there. So yeah, a lot of battle shock everywhere. On his turn 2, he gets 6 for primary, and then he gets extend battle lines and containment. So he gets extend battle lines because he controls his backfield with, I think, one of the guys, Cypher, maybe kind of moved on to his battlefield. No, so the Predator moved on. So the Vindicator scooted on to control his home field. He controlled this one with the Rhino or the Accursed. And then these guys over here moved up. They were already battle shocked, so they can't control this. But they moved up, charged. And since they're battle shocked, I don't have to worry about fighting over this objective because I already have it, because the Rhino's sitting on it. So as long as the Rhino doesn't die or one of these guys don't die, I control that next turn. So I'm like, all right, you can charge me, I don't care. I'm going to control that because you're battle shocked. And then over here, nobody's battle shocked. So we're basically, I have this one, this one, this one, and then we're fighting over this one and his over there. So he scooches up his Lord with Legionnaires. These guys come out to play with another Lord. This Lord's just moving up closer to the 10-man, so I'm about to get charged by a bunch of dudes over here. Rhino scooches back. These guys are still kind of chilling in the center, and the Terminator scooch up 5 inches over here. He wants to charge, get onto the objective, and try and do something to there, but Cypher is right here, who's within 12. So everything that he wants to do over here, he's going to charge into Cypher's range of 12 inches. And that's just going to be a huge swing with CP when it comes to him moving up into the backfield. Cypher is so clutch in these types of plays because when they bring a big 10-man brick that they rely on free strats and CP, they're not really going to do what they're meant to do and just run across the table because of Cypher. Because one 90-point model just stopped this entire 10-man brick. We did rapid ingress like we always do our Accursed Cultists in this back left corner here because I want them to do something to these Terminators if I can. But I was so far away. I probably should have just been more aggressive. And if I put them right here, he then probably would have shot a ton of shots into me, probably kills half of them. But then at least I'm able to kind of scooch up a little bit more. And then I'd be able to kind of go after him next turn. Instead, I was too far over that I wasn't able to get the advance and charge off on him to defend it. Because when he made that charge, look, he's right there. So he's still about, 13, 14 inches away from me. So he's really far away that I don't have the +2 because I'm not playing Chaos Cult. But if I charge or advance and I only roll like a 1, I'm only here. So that's going to be still a 9 or a 10-inch charge, which isn't good. So again, if I would have brought him over here, he probably wouldn't have shot my tanks. He probably would have put all of them into this unit. He would have killed at least half of them, but then at least I would have been able to get into combat with him next turn. All right, so this is what happened here. He stays outside 6 inches, so Abaddon can't countercharge, because that's also what I was hoping for. They're in combat with my bike over here. He kills my entire 10-man unit over here with a Lord and Legionnaires, and a bunch of shooting. So all that kills my my dudes over here. He kills, charges the Raptors over here with the Legionnaires, and the bikes charge the dudes over here. So there's a bunch of charges that go out this turn. He kills my tank, obviously, because he got a bunch of chain fists. He does kills my bike. Again, he killed all those guys, and he kills my Raptors and Noise Marines. So in this situation, he's OPSEC 0, so I have the Rhino there, so the Rhino's 2, so I again control that objective. He forgot about the battle shock, so he's not able to control that point. And again, these blue horrors, if you guys have them or can get them for Dread Talons, I would highly recommend getting these guys for Dread Talons. Chosen and what's his name, Abaddon, are now in range of these guys, but he has a move where if I move within 9 inches, he can spend a CP to move away. So we advanced the red squad, and I think we only rolled a 2. So I wasn't getting anywhere near the Terminators, so I knew about the move back. So even if I did get near them, he would just move 5 inches away from me. So if he moves 5 inches away from me, it's an impossible charge. I basically can't get to him. So I move up towards the bikes instead, because if I can control this objective again, that's going to be the goal, just kind of sit on this objective with all my red squad over there. So they do the +1 advance, +1 charge. They move up here. They want to get the charge off on the bike, so we don't shoot the bikes or do anything. The Cultists scooch up over here to kind of hold the home field objective again. And then these guys, again, spent 2 CP because of Cypher to move back away. And then I don't think he was battle shocked. Yeah, I don't think he was battle shocked at this point, but during his command phase, he then was battle shocked. But now this charge on Abaddon is way too far, so Abaddon scooted up. I think he advanced, so he advanced basically up to there. So I think he only rolled a 1 or 2 for advance. So advances up to there. These blue horrors start scooting back. The Raptors come down within 3 over here to get force a battle shock. That's what happened. So Raptors came down, forced a battle shock in my phase. He then failed his battle shock test, so I was able to essentially just murder the crap out of these guys because they couldn't do any strats. They couldn't do armor contempt. They couldn't do any of that stuff. So this unit's battle shocked. The Rhino's not. These guys all got rid of their battle shock, but I'm basically running out of units. All I have left is this red squad right here. I have Abaddon, I have a unit of Cultist, 1 Predator, 1 Legionnaire unit in the Rhino, and 1 Raptor unit, and that's it. So he's got a lot of units still left, a lot of tanks left on this side of the table. But we do wipe out his 10-man brick of Terminators. There's only 2 left with the Lord. And again, he's battle shocked because he failed battle shock during his turn as well at -1. And then he moves up to try and kill my tank, take over this objective, and try and stay 6 inches away from Abaddon. So on turn 4, we get Defend Stronghold, which we had to keep because I knew he wasn't going to catch it, because I still had a bunch of Cultists on there and a tank and Abaddon right next to him. So I was like, all right, I think I can hold my backfield, and then mark for death. He has the Terminator brick. Yeah, he has the Terminator brick, so he did mark for death on the Terminator brick. So once I wasn't able to kill the Terminator brick, I kept it because I killed so many of them that it's an easy kill next turn for mark of death. So since I kept mark of death, I'm able to kind of move up. He killed my Predator again, move up Abaddon, and just finish off that unit with the Lord to get mark for death for 5 points. And then obviously we had Defend Stronghold because he was battle shocked, so he wasn't able to control it. And then on his turn 4, he gets Recover Assets. So he has to do an action, no prisoners, which he got rid of Call the Horde for. So we got Call the Horde. He wasn't going to kill my big ass brick of ACDC, so there's no point of keeping that. So he ditched that, and he got no prisoners. So now the blue scribes that were, or blue horrors were running back here, are now getting back into the fray to try and make most of these guys battle shock again. So this is what I was talking about. Cypher is dead set in the center. I was like, hey, why don't you move your Cypher up to shoot my Cypher and then see who can win the Cypher off. The guys over here that were battle shocked, they finally died. The accursed cultists said they lived till turn 5, essentially, 4 or 5. The one lord got back in the rhino over here. My raptors came down over here to charge and go after the lord, which was a bad idea, because then the lord swings back and just kills all of my raptors. So this is getting to the end of the game. He's got Cypher, who died. Yeah, I believe Cypher died through the shots of the raptors. I forget how Cypher died. Cypher is dead. Cypher's not dead. All right, so Cypher ran away like a little bitch. So Cypher ran away behind this little wall back here. My Cypher's running forward to try and be somewhat annoying, but not really going to do too much left in this game. His cultists went from all the way back here up to this objective to control the objective. Rhino scooching up with the Lord. Lord gets out and does an action. If he lives, he gets the action, but I'm able to kind of scoot back with my last cannon, shoot one last cannon shot all the way down yonder and get to the Lord, and I finish off the Lord in my deployment zone with the last cannon shot. So he fails the save, I roll like a 3 or 4 for damage and kill the Lord, and then Abaddon with his guys are just kind of chilling right here. So Legionnaires are left, Abaddon by himself, Cypher, full man unit of accursed cultists, and the Rhino getting in the back corner. This is a great suggestion by Mike. So Mike, I wasn't really using my Rhino. I was kind of moving it back and forth between these two objectives. He's like, why don't you just advance it up this way, because eventually you're going to get a mission that you might need. And I'm like, dude, you're right. Like, this I think was one of the second or third games with Pariah Nexus. So I just advance up just at a nonchalant, and of course the next thing I get is establish locus. So I'm like, all right, I guess I'll just move my Rhino up, establish locus in your deployment zone, and just get 4 points. So I appreciate you, Mike. Thanks for the suggestion. Now, move your guys assuming that you're going to get shit to do an action, because the Rhinos are one of the best units in 10th edition to do actions like that. So at the end of the game, this is basically what we're winding up. He has second turn, so he's able to kind of score a lot on primary. So he gets 12 last turn on primary, and then for the secondary he gets engaged in all fronts and marked for death. So engaged in all fronts, he gets 1, 2, and then Cypher on this corner, so he gets 3. And then for mark for death, I pick my big squad. I think I pick Abaddon, and I pick the Rhino over here, or maybe the Legionnaires. One of the 3 that's really hard for him to kill. So that, Legionnaires, and the Rhino, and he wasn't able to kill one of the 3, so he couldn't get Call the Horde. And that was it. That was the final turn. So we found out in this game, which we'll go over after the points, but I'll tell you what I liked, what I didn't like, and what I switched. So final score of the game, and again, I don't think this is accurate, guys. The primary, I don't know how the hell this is scored. So we were supposed to get, I thought it was 3 and then control the center for more. So this is probably wrong, but you guys could let me know in the comments what this looks like. Yeah, 5-8. I don't know how I got a 4. Or 14. 5, 10. Yeah, it should be 13. So I don't know how. Maybe it was banners. Maybe we had banners that was just adding to the points. Yeah, who the hell knows? But 72-71. So close ass game. No matter what the score was, me and Mike at the end of this. For primary, we had 36 out of 50. He had 34 out of 50. So basically 2-point difference there. And then for secondaries, 26 out of 40, and he had 27 out of 40. So that was basically a 1-point swing right there. He had 1 turn of 0. I had 1 turn of 0. And then all the other turns we were getting secondaries like it was our job. So Chaos Space Marine really good in the secondary game in 10th edition, especially with Pariah. And the final board state, this is it. So what we learned, Cypher, if you guys don't have Cypher, buy Cypher, head over to Discord so you guys can purchase Cypher from us. Cypher is in every Chaos Space Marine list, no matter what. Using him defensively for the first turn or two, and then using him to throw out at least within 12 inches behind a ruin, behind a cover, behind something to force somebody to not do armor contempt for 1 CP. Free stratagems go to 1 stratagem, 2 stratagems go to freaking 3 stratagems. So we get a lot of 2 stratagems for like fight first, move a target to another target, so that 2 CP was going to go down to 1 CP because of the Lord, but then we brought it back up to 2 CP, which is huge in this game of CP in 10th edition. So Cypher really, really good. He also does work with his pistols. Like, he's got 2 pistols that can shoot in combat. They're sustain 1, and you get Dark Pack for lethal. So you get lethal and sustain on your pistols. Strength 8, AP 3, and then Strength 4, AP 1. Like, so Cypher does do some work into infantry. That's how he was able to kill my blue horrors that one turn. So blue horrors are over here. Cypher basically shoots, charges in. The Lord moves up, charges in, and then all these guys move up, charge, and kill all the blue horrors in one go. So that's how the blue horrors die. Cypher helped out a lot with that. But the difference, we already went over what he would have done, is move these guys into the Rhino. Obviously turn 1, they probably would have lived, because I would have to kill the Rhino first. But when I kill the Rhino, these guys would get out, which I guess they'd be battle shocked. Yeah, I think, wow. Okay, so if you kill Rhino when they're in there, they get out, they're battle shocked, and then you get full rerolls to hit and wound on them. So that's actually a really good strat, guys. So you come down outside 9, even if you want to. 9, 10, 12, because he'd probably still be within 12, which is rapid fire range for the plasma. So you come down within 9 of the Rhino, you blow the Rhino up, they're then battle shocked, you then shoot everything full rerolls to hit and wound against that unit, and then you just nuke that unit off the table. So that's actually a really, really good strat we just thought about. So if you did have these guys in the Rhino would be probably where they are now. So the Rhino would be there. I don't know if we can get to the Rhino. Like, we'd have just last cannon shots over there, maybe some melta if I put them over there instead. Yeah, so it would be kind of tough if we can kill the Rhino, but if we could, we would do the same strat there. If we couldn't, his guys would be protected. They'd be able to move out of the Rhino and go cause a ton of havoc in my board state, and still have 2 full units of Legionnaires attached to the Lord. And the Predators. So the Predators walked in. These guys, this is also another mistake he said that he wouldn't do, is drop these guys near Cypher, because it was a great idea coming in my backfield, just be like, all right, here's 10 Terminators, go deal with them. But again, Cypher stopped a full 10-man unit from doing what they were made to do by using free stratagems and fight first and all that stuff. So that was huge, just having Cypher stop a full 10-man Terminator unit. The Predators coming in, he had to come in there to get the home field objective that one turn. But I think the Predator either coming in from reserves or coming in over here to fight my Predators might have been a little bit different. All in all, he played a really good game. There's not really a ton that he would do different. Mainly it was just the Terminators and the 10-man in the Rhino. If he doesn't do those, it's a little bit different of a game. Different results. And then my mistake was these red guys. I probably didn't even have to commit to this because I still had a ton of shooting and Abaddon. If these guys would have rapid ingressed, where else could... There's not a lot of options. He's got bikes up here already. He's got all of this siphoned out. The freaking one Nurgling that doesn't want to die in this corner. I couldn't get anywhere over there. There wasn't a lot of room for my guys to come in. So the best thing would to come in was probably over here, just to get more distance going this way. So if I come in within 9 inches over here, so that way next turn I could just advance up, charge, and probably kill the bikes and the Legionnaires. Right? So I move up, advance up, charge, kill the bikes and the Legionnaires. Now I'm here that turn instead of behind the wall. So these Legionnaires would be dead, and I'd be all the way out here instead of all the way back here. So that would be the difference between these guys. Is I was using them more defensively to go against the Terminators, but with the amount of firepower I had and Abaddon right next to them, I probably should have been like, hey, Abaddon, you got this. So also we learned that I'm probably not going to bring Abaddon in this detachment again. So I'd rather just have more Raptors, more Lords, more Legionnaires, more Curse Cultists. The list that we ran with the Curse Cultists and Dread Talons is in the RTT coming up. That video just got posted up on Patreon, so I think this video might come out before that video on YouTube. So if you guys are Patreons, you guys get to see these videos ahead of time on patreon.com. And if you guys want to support the channel, there's competitive Dirtbags and Grandmaster Dirtbags, where you guys get to message one of our coaches on the Dirtbag Nation, me if you play one of the armies, and one of our coaches on Dirtbags if you play one of their armies, and you guys get to ask us questions. It's always good to have a professional coach in your corner no matter what game or sport you play. So that's basically what the competitive Dirtbag coaching is all about. It's $10 a month. You guys get to ask us questions. We have a list ideas, tactics, all that stuff. And then Grandmasters, you guys get to watch us play specific lists you guys want to see live on the battle reports. And you guys get a call from one of us once a month to go over any RTT or GTs that you have coming up to prepare for that game and that showing. So it's really good to join the Dirtbag Nation. The community is just freaking amazing. We wouldn't be doing this without you guys. So help us support. Head over to the merch store or the merch on Discord and support us over at patreon.com. So let me know in the comments below what you liked, didn't like, how we can improve on these videos, and we'll see you in another video soon. What's up, gents? 40k Dirtbags here. If you guys are thinking about joining the Patreon page, we're going to go over each tier and how it's going to benefit you and what you're looking for specifically to get out of 40k in 10th edition coming up. There's a lot of stuff to go over. There's a lot of tactical videos up on the channel, which is for free. There's going to be a bunch of perks that you get specifically for being a part of the Dirtbag Nation Patreon page. So first off, we have the first tier, which is $1 a month. You guys get first access to the videos over at patreon.com. You also get access to the Discord, which is specifically a private link in the Discord that only Patreon members can see. So you guys will have first access to that. Also a benefit is Patreons over the Dirtbag Nation get live streamed games on patreon.com streamed from YouTube, but there's only links specifically for the patreons.com. So not only do you get first access to these videos, you also get to see live stream games specifically only on patreon.com. The next tier is the Justicar. You guys get a shout out on every single video on YouTube. You also get to support us a little bit more. You get first dibs at voting on Discord, as well as you just kind of say, hey, I just want to be a Justicar Dirtbag and support you guys a little bit more than that $1 a month tier. But you get all the same access as well as the different color over on the Discord. So the third tier is the competitive Dirtbag. This tier, you get a lot more one-on-one coaching. This is a lot of the Dirtbags over on the Dirtbag Nation. They are able to send out messages one-on-one, go over list ideas, tactics, anything you guys want to talk about. When I was getting into 40K, or really any game in general, I always wanted to message the top players in the meta and just ask them questions. This $10 a month tier gets you that opportunity to message us one-on-one on Discord, so that way we can actually coach you, give you our insights, suggestions, and that's going to get you better at the 40k 10th edition as a whole. So that tier alone, just $10 a month to have one-on-one coaching, one-on-one messages anytime throughout the month, that's going to be a perfect tier for you guys. Even if you're brand new to the game, we go over 1,000-point list, 1,500-point list, 2,000-point brand new starting list, team list, anything you guys need. That's what the competitive Dirtbag tier is for. Also, you get a little bit red number name tag on Discord, so people know that you're really serious about getting into the competitive scene. The Grandmaster Dirtbags. This is the all-in-all $25 a month tier. You get one-on-one coaching, everything we said prior to this, but you guys get to see me, Mike, any of the other Dirtbags play your specific list that you want to see tested out live on one of our battle reports. You guys get to mention, suggest videos you guys want to see coming up on patreon.com. So you guys get the above first tier benefit of everything that we do over at Dirtbag Nation. All the support mainly comes from you guys supporting us over here at Dirtbag Nation. And Grandmasters, I can't thank you enough, but for $25 a month, you get one-on-one coaching and anything you want to see live on the tabletop. So you get to see a professional play right in front of you. You guys get to kind of like see it one-on-one, and I'm actually making this specifically for you. There's also TTS events that you guys can suggest. If you guys want to do a first 1 or 2 turn run through on TTS, we can actually log in and coach you one-on-one with that. If you guys see us at any GTs, you guys get special benefits, free dice, stuff like that. Anytime you purchase a merch thing on Discord, you guys get a free limited edition Dirtbag dice sent to you with every single purchase on top of that. So there's a lot of benefits coming up with the Grandmaster Dirtbag. Because I can't thank you enough for supporting us. definitely let me know which tier would be best for you if you go over to patreon.com and specifically go to a tier. And make sure you don't forget to message me up on Discord. That's where we check every single day. If you guys are really into getting into 10th edition 40k, head over to Patreon, join the competitive Dirtbag or the Grandmaster. Message me as many times as you possibly want, and I'll coach you the best I possibly can on any specific army that you guys play. Mainly our armies right now, currently, going into 2024 is going to be Chaos Space Marines, Grey Knights, Death Guard, and then we have Custodes, Sisters, and I think that's it going into the Wings of 2024. But again, any other army that you guys play, we have other coaches lined up for the Dirtbags that are ready to take on that role of the competitive Dirtbag page. So guys, really appreciate it. Thanks for clicking on the video. Thanks for joining the Dirtbag Nation if you guys are already a part of us. And we'll see you in another video soon.